Hi folks, another video about the coronavirus disaster that's unfolding here. I've thought of some detailed ideas for how society might be quickly kind of restructured to deal with the crisis. Um, some of it's a bit original to me, and some of it's probably a bit uninformed. People might disagree with a lot of this stuff. It doesn't really matter because the main point is that China's tactic was successful, and our tactic in the UK here and in other places is not proving that successful. So we've got to adopt China's tactics, I would say. Not some of them, just basically pretty much the whole package, because it's a proven system to beat this thing. And people might worry about civil liberties and stuff, but for a few weeks or months, who cares to like save kind of 1% of the population or something vast like that, a huge disaster they're extremely worried about. Okay, I'm going to read this off the screen because I can't remember all these details. But anyway, there'll be some links with a video for some things trying to prove, some more scientific people sort of proving the basic point that I'm making with all of this. Okay, so I'll start reading. Okay, first I think we should. This is pretty big controversial. You might not agree with this. It's not the main point, but I've started with it for some reason. Okay, so shut down the economy for the duration of the crisis. No payments allowed to be taken for anything. No wages, rents, or interest will be paid for the suspended period. All agreed future payment dates will be postponed by the length of time of the economic suspension. So, for example, if you've got a mortgage payment due, it's going to be put back by however long the economy is switched off for. All wages will be held back to the end of the crisis, but will be paid in full for any work done during the crisis. All rules will be enforced by an initial penalty of £100 fine, which will be paid after the end of the crisis again, as will all the payments I mentioned here. Repeated or major breaches of rules will lead you to more fines and prison. Again, probably sentence to be carried out after the crisis. All non-vital work will be disallowed during the shutdown. Crisis workers to be recruited in large numbers from non-vulnerable households. Vulnerable means old people and sick people, people with conditions that lead you to be more harmed by the coronavirus. Crisis workers will be paid £20 an hour. Free food by the state, obviously. Free food will be delivered to all households by the army, emergency services, and crisis workers. Vital workers will receive their food at work. That's because if it's food they can't eat or something, they can swap it or something there, because they won't necessarily be at home when the delivery comes. Vital workers will receive. Oh, sorry, I just said that. Food will maybe swapped for preferred food where time and resources allowed, as I just mentioned. All shops except pharmacies will close. Schools, pubs, etc. that are already closed in the UK now will remain closed. No movement outside one's house or flat will be allowed except for vital workers who can just shuttle to work and back. Rubbish will be left outside front doors. Public transport will be rerouted to serve its sole purpose of shuttling vital workers safely between work and home. Taxis commandeered by the state for the duration of the will be commandeered by the state for the duration of the shutdown. Cars will be commandeered by private citizens if necessary. The owners will be paid £200 for the duration of the crisis for this. They wouldn't be allowed to use their cars anyway, so they won't lose much. All qualified drivers with licenses from any country issued will be insured by the state to drive any car required by the crisis. Vehicles will be hastily adapted so driver and passengers are airtight from one another. They'd be passengers in the back, I guess. Police will randomly check number plates and fine unauthorized vehicles being used. And I actually didn't write it down, but and commandeer those vehicles for the duration of the crisis as well. Police, army, and emergency workers will patrol the streets, punishing unauthorized people who leave the house. if you are on your way to work, walk into a vital job, you'll have to prove who you are by, I guess, giving them the phone number of the place you work and producing some ID to prove you are a person, the worker they say you are. Maybe they can have a photo of you or something until some more sophisticated ID things worked out. Citizens will be required to report COVID symptoms. Those with symptoms will be where space allowed removed to separate rooms within commandeered buildings such as hotels. The rest will be put under 24-hour one-to-one surveillance, typically with an emergency worker sitting in a car. Let me just scroll down here, sorry. Emergency worker sitting in a car outside their house day and night. Emergency workers will investigate all recent contacts of the infected and put them as isolated as possible too. That's a bad sentence, but I'm in a hurry here. This is really important apparently in China, this following people who've touched people who've got symptoms. They kind of mercilessly track down all these people, or not mercilessly, but rigorously track down all these people apparently, according to a video I will link here. COVID tests, labs, and equipment will be developed and applied as quickly as much as possible. I don't know how possible that is and whether they're actually doing that or not now. I expect they are. Hope they are. Probably not doing enough, judging by the other things the government's doing. Actually, in the UK, they did announce they were going to stop testing in the community right at the beginning, so that's a sign that they don't value this as highly as they should. Okay, those who've tested positive but are not currently requiring hospital treatment can be kept in commandeered, again, large halls such as sports centres, which will be adapted. Those are rapidly adapted. Those under home surveillance will receive £40 a day for their trouble. Those taken from their homes will receive £100 a day. It will be mandatory that they go along with this. They'll also lose the money if they kind of ask people about in small ways. Spare mattresses will be donated or commandeered from the public if required for these places, and for vital workers to sleep at work if there's a problem with the transport to work. And if it can be shown that sleeping at work actually will reduce the risk of transmission, then people should sleep at work for the duration of the crisis if they don't have anything vital to do at home, like kids or something. So that's my plan. Whether you agree or disagree or are interested in those details, the government's really got to, as I said, switch to this China strategy, which is the one that worked. All the best, and hope you're all well.